All right, let's talk about something fascinating. Have you ever just stopped and wondered why some things, a local pub, a meme, an idea, just completely take off while others fizzle out? Well, today we're going to crack the code. We're going to look at the science of what makes things contagious, and we're using the good old local pub as our test lab. I mean, you've seen it, right? It's the question that keeps every pub landlord, every business owner, heck, anyone trying to get an idea out there up at night. You can have the best beer, the best quiz night, the coolest decor, and still you're looking at an empty room. Meanwhile, the place just down the road is absolutely buzzing. What is their secret? So you're probably thinking, well, some things just get lucky, right? But what if I told you it has almost nothing to do with luck? According to marketing professor Jonah Berger, virality isn't some random accident. It's a science. There's an actual formula, a recipe for making things catch on. And today, we are going to learn it. So here's our game plan for this explainer. First, we'll dig into why some things spread like wildfire. Then we'll unpack the super powerful framework called the 6 STEPPS. After that, we'll see it in action with some great examples. And finally, we'll build your very own playbook to make your ideas go viral. Okay, let's get right into it. Now, you've seen the old school approach, right? Slap a poster in the window, maybe hand out a few flyers. But let's be honest, in the world we live in today, with all the noise, that kind of marketing it falls completely flat. And you know the data on this is crystal clear. Paid ads, they have a surprisingly tiny impact compared to the absolute powerhouse that is word of mouth. I mean, think about it. A recommendation from a friend is 10 times more effective than a paid ad. It drives up to half of all our purchasing decisions. So the real question, the million-dollar question is, how do we get people talking? And that brings us to the solution. This is the secret recipe I was talking about. It's Jonah Berger's incredible framework for engineering word of mouth, and it's called the 6 STEPPS. These right here are the 6 core ingredients for any contagious idea: social currency, triggers, emotion, public, practical value, and stories. Each one is like a little psychological lever that makes people want to share. If you can master these, you can make just about anything catch on. All right, now for the really fun part. Let's see how this all works in the real world. We're going to break down each one of these 6 STEPPS, and I'll show you exactly how they can turn a quiet little pub into the talk of the town. First up is social currency. It's pretty simple. We share things that make us look good. Cool, smart, in the know. It's like a currency we use to boost our social status. And there's this fantastic example from a steakhouse in Philadelphia that just nailed this. They didn't just offer a good steak. Nope. They created a legend. They put wait for it, $100 cheesesteak on the menu. We're talking Kobe beef, lobster, truffles, the whole shebang. It was completely over the top, almost absurd. And this is the absolute genius of it. The goal was never to sell that cheesesteak. The goal was to start a conversation. Just knowing about the $100 cheesesteak gave people social currency. It was this amazing story they could tell their friends that made them seem interesting and like a real insider. So how does a pub do this? Easy. You could create a secret cocktail that only the regulars know how to order, or you could invent a ridiculously huge landlord's burger food challenge. Maybe offer a reward, like a free drink for people who share a post. Basically, you give your customers a secret they can't wait to tell. Okay, our second ingredient is triggers. And the idea here is so simple but so powerful. Top of mind, tip of tongue. You just have to link your product to an everyday cue. I mean, think about Kit Kat. Their sales went through the roof after they brilliantly linked their chocolate bar to coffee breaks. Have a break, have a Kit Kat. The coffee itself became the trigger. For a pub, you could totally do this by branding Pub Quiz Wednesday. So hard that Wednesday and your pub become one and the same in people's minds. Now for a really crucial one, emotion. The logic is simple, right? When we care, we share. But, and this is a big but, not all emotions are created equal. It's the high arousal ones. We're talking awe, excitement, humor, even a little bit of anger that really get us talking. A poster that just says quiz night is boring. It's forgettable. But framing it as a local rivalry between two teams, now that creates banter and excitement that people just can't help but talk about. Fourth, we have to make our ideas public. I mean, it makes sense, right? If people can't see other people using a product or getting behind an idea, it's just not going to spread. There's this great story about Apple. Years ago, they realized the logo on their laptops faced the user when it was open, so they just flipped it. They turned it around to face outwards so everyone else in the coffee shop could see it. Just like that, they turned every single user into a walking billboard. Brilliant. So how do you make your pub's events more public? You could create a winner's wall and tag the champs on social media. Have big visible trophies for the quiz or darts league. Sell some cool pub merch that people actually want to wear out in the world. And design moments, like a perfectly poured pint, that are just begging to be filmed for TikTok or Instagram. Okay, let's talk about number 5, practical value. We are literally wired to share useful information. We love sharing tips, it helps other people, and it makes us look smart. It's the entire reason life hack videos go viral. And for a pub, this is a piece of cake. You could share a guide to the best beer pairings for a Sunday roast, or create a match day survival guide with all the kickoff times and drink specials. It's pure, shareable usefulness. And now the final, and maybe the most critical piece of this entire puzzle, is stories. We humans are narrative creatures. We don't share facts and data, we share stories. Your marketing shouldn't just be a list of events. It needs to be a Trojan horse, a really compelling story that has your message hidden inside. Is there a legendary local who's played in every quiz since 2009? Tell their story. That's what people will remember, and more importantly, that's what they'll repeat. All right, so we've covered all the theory. We've seen the 6 principles in action. Now, let's put it all together. Let's build a simple, actionable plan that you can use to start engineering your own contagious content right now. And look how beautifully simple this can be. You don't need a huge budget or some massive marketing team. Just focus on one step each week. Week 1, you introduce a secret menu item for social currency. Week 2, you relentlessly brand a specific day to create a trigger. By the time you get to the end of 6 weeks, you've woven all 6 principles right into the fabric of your pub. And here is the single most important takeaway from all of this. While we've been using a pub as our example, this framework is absolutely universal. It doesn't matter if you're launching a tech startup, promoting a charity, or just trying to get an idea to stick inside your company. These 6 principles are your playbook. So, as we wrap this up, the one thing I want you to remember is this. A great idea is not enough. It needs to be designed to travel. It has to be contagious. So the real question you should be asking yourself isn't, is my idea good? It's what story am I giving people to tell?